was interesting. I just said the name of one of my song titles and the guy had a fucking orgasm. It's just worst things that can happen. 51. Some people don't even make it to 51. If you can make it to 51 and say the name of your song title and the guy in the back has an orgasm, then you think that's pretty good. That should be on my gravestone. Marks of the name of one of his songs. In Vienna, Austria. And the guy in the back who requested Modest Mouse had an orgasm. Let's start the song like that. I was playing in Vienna, Austria, when I was asking audience what songs they wanted to hear. And the guy in the back said, play Modest Mouse. I said, don't fucking boss me around. I'm gonna do whatever you want within my hour. And then he seemed like he was about to have a spasm. And I said, guess what? We're gonna do something else. We're gonna do a song called My Love For You Is Undying. And the guy from Vienna had an orgasm. Though the dead are decomposing, though my flesh and hair are thinning, though my eyesight is fading, though the planet is decaying, though the haters don't stop hating, though the Gulf Coast is flooding, though the news is always troubling, though the headlines are befuddling, though our time is disintegrating, though our days are dissipating, but my friends in San Francisco all keep moving, though the city keeps on changing, though the roses are dry, though the orchid petals are falling, my love for you is undying. 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 Watching a fight the other night on Valencia Street in the Mission District with you at the burger joint. A guy from Nebraska versus a guy from Namibia. A woman was outside on the curb crying. Two men were consoling her by her side. Two men were consoling her by her side. I walked out and I asked, is she alright? They said, yeah, she's okay. Thank you for asking. I'll go on and have a good night. I went and sang some songs at the chapel, with some interesting others sing, like Black Dahlia from the Dwarves, and the classy Bar Davenport. And when I finished singing my song, a girl approached me and said, hey. I said, you look familiar, how do I know you? She said, you don't actually know me. My name is Vivian, and I really enjoy your singing. I said, thank you, and I shook her hand. Then she nodded to her friend. I grabbed her hand, and she left. guitar tuners are all oxidizing, but with age I'm prioritizing my workload, my socializing. What used to be so easy I'm now realizing is all getting so much more tiring. Though Floyd Mayweather keeps retiring and retiring, though my old lamps need rewiring, though my testosterone is expiring, though movie directors no longer call me that much anymore. My ears are ringing, so I went and begged for dinner at the Big Four. As we got up to leave, a woman said, "Hey mister, you dropped your wallet on the floor." My jacket hit a glass that fell to the floor and it crashed. And everybody looked at us startled, as if our names were James and Bartles. I said, "Hey, it's a tight space in here, so spare me the pity coming from your face, lifted faces. This could have happened to each and every one of you too." The waiter hurried over. He said, "We're gonna have to ask you to leave, sir." I said, "Hey, I was leaving anyhow, and that's the last time you're ever gonna see a bad guy like me again, that's for sure." Thank you, Antonio Montana, from a prison in Havana, from a boat across the Atlantic to a mansion in Miami. Though these words may need refining, I much prefer reclining backstage than out front autograph signing. Though I much prefer infrequent flying. Though for perfection I've stopped trying. My love for you is undying. 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 Attended a relative's cremation. Her bereaved husband sat there trembling with his cane, and our hearts were broken. Her picture was so youthful and so beautiful. Everybody was so mournful and tearful. And his grandchildren walked into the car. At the end of the lawn, flowers were waiting. So many that were grieving, there was no doubt and no denying of a love undying, of an undying love. Well, some may find my specifying agonizing and trying, long-winded and unsatisfying. Others may find it hypnotizing. comforting and inspiring, relatable and consoling. I went to the bookstore the other day. The counter girl there was scratching her hand. She says she thought that her hand was itchy because of all the cash that she'd been supposedly handling. I said it could be that, or depending on where you've been, it also might be bed bug. And she looked at me with surprise and starstruck eyes. She asked, "Are you like the real, like the actual Mark Kozelek?" I said, "Yes, I am that man." She said, "Oh my God, I'm a really, really, really big fan." And then she said, "We should totally go to Centimeter." I said, "There's a Centimeter in San Francisco?" She said, "No, she said, "I'm from Austria. There's not a Centimeter in San Francisco, and even if there was one, you're the last person I'd ever meet there anyhow." She didn't say it that loud. It was in a bookstore. Then a guy that was walking around the bookstore, he overheard us, and he came over and he said, "Actually, there is a Centimeter in San Francisco. It's on Geary and Masonic." And she said, "Like I said, anyhow, even if there is a Centimeter in San Francisco, you're the last person I'd ever meet there anyhow." And suddenly there was an awkward silence. We usually do this for a long time. But since it's a festival and we're confined to an hour. This is my favorite part of the show. At first I thought she was the nicest, and then suddenly she seemed colder than ISIS. And this didn't sit well on my midlife crisis. And then her stupid boss came over and threw a wet blanket on all the nice vibes. He said, "Sir, can I ask you something?" I said, "What?" He said, "Are you even planning to buy a book?" I said, "I was, but this bookstore of yours smells like an old barn full of Amish musty quilts." This was in San Francisco. He said, "That'll be enough of that language, sir." I said, "Okay, but I came here very well intentioned until that mean-spirited counter girl of yours totally hurt my feelings." He asked me, "What has she done, sir, that you have found so demeaning?" I said, "She engaged me and baited me, and then for no reason at all venomously stung me." He said, "I think you might be overanalyzing. I think that you're exaggerating or bold-faced lying." I said, "No, I'm not dramatizing, fictionalizing, or even slightly modifying." He said, "Sir, I think your brain may need rewiring." I said, "I think the two of you were totally co-conspiring." Then he said, "You better get out of here. We're going to call the cops." And they kicked me out. And they were laughing at me as they looked down at their smartphones. And I walked out the door on my way home. And as I walked along the road, mind hypothesizing what could have went so wrong in this liberal vegan bookstore specializing in Charles fucking Bukowski, but doesn't carry the new Mike Tyson biography. This sort of happened, so overcame me as I began realizing that for connection I'll never stop trying, even if it results in my eyes crying. When you stop caring, that's when you've died inside.